Hello, this is Nathan, better known as Crazy Hermit DM, and this is my podcast, The Hermit's Homebrew. Joining me today is Brent from Lang Mini Studio, as we talk about Dungeons & Dragons and tabletop gaming. All right, everybody. Tonight, we're talking about actually what happens when players push on a living world that's supposed to push back, and we're talking about living campaign settings and why I feel that probably with more experienced GMs and experienced players, there's a draw to it as opposed to maybe newer players. When like a TTRPG community talks about a living campaign, like what's the first thing for you that comes to mind?
Player choices have more of an impact, in my opinion. You could have the bard trying to seduce the princess, and now the party gets ran out of the kingdom. That's canon now.
Yeah.
That's not something that you can change. It's something you retconned, and now you have to deal with it. And if you do a campaign later in the same world, in the same area, that may be part of the local like lore.
Mm-hmm.
Laws may have changed or whatever because of player interaction. And I think that's really cool because it makes the players realize that their actions have consequences beyond we get paid or not. Longer reaching, more in depth.
When I think living campaigns, obviously like the first thing that comes to mind is like Greyhawk or Forgotten Realms, just because those are the first two published ones.
Oh yeah,
like Greyhawk was early 70s, run as an open table where time passed, characters died permanently.
Yeah, permadeath.
But there was a chance like if you're in the next campaign, you ran into your character's grave or you heard of tales of your dead character because you're now playing this new character, and it made it feel more real and immersive.
Well, and also in the more modern settings of D&D, you also have named spells like Melf's Acid Arrow, Tensor's Floating Disc,
and then
things like that.
Fun fact: Melf is actually Gygax's original elf wizard.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh, cool. All right.
He is Melf the wizard.
Okay.
The elf wizard. But like you also had Forgotten Realms, which kind of became obviously the bread and butter for second edition on.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty.
Especially after like Salvatore took over with Drizzt.
Oh, geez. Yeah, the community hasn't looked back since.
But like what I at least with us, for sure, what I think about with a living campaign and what comes to mind is just staying with one individual world as each campaign shifts.
Mm-hmm.
And just how they're interconnected. One of the fun things obviously was like you were in part of the first campaign, skipped the second, came back for the third, and was throwing in like Easter eggs of between 1 and 3, or for Chase that was part of campaign 2 but not 1, throwing in Easter eggs for him to make that feel interconnected for
like
all you guys.
The tavern in Muspelheim.
Yes.
There were some old characters from the second campaign that I didn't know, but I was able to learn about them from everyone else's interactions. That was really cool.
Or the one that actually got like a player reaction out of you and Tove, or now Ronhi in our new setting, was Catherine is running across your granddaughter's grave, who turned out to be the first chosen of your character who became the god of justice.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
At the same time, Vicky, she was playing a divine warlock of your character, and that was actually one of the first things, like when I invited you back, I'm like, hey, things are going to get a little weird or surreal for you. Somebody's following you as a god.
Yeah, someone's worshiping my former character. Yeah.
Like devoutly.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to like my new character that does follow like Vicky's god Rama, but he doesn't follow her religiously. He follows kind of her ideology.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that was more just, I think, more personally me, of like I follow personal view or whatever, and I don't bring up religion too often. I'm not a religious person in real life, but I follow a lot of good tenets from like Buddhism or those kind of put out good and good will come back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good karma.
Yeah.
And that's always been my mentality. And I think with going back to Ephraim, who's my character, that's his like mind, is he's trying to follow these ideologies of Rama to do right in the world. or at least his version of right, because everybody has their own version of
Yeah,
right. Even if they're a villain, they think they're
they
right.
think what they're doing is right. Yeah.
But like,
Or at least good for them. Yeah.
or it was just like the bringing Catherine though, going back to her, and then just that reaction of you guys seeing basically your character's granddaughter,
Yeah.
and knowing this was the timeline in between 500-year gap.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the other thing is in between like campaign settings is that time gap, and I was like, what's changed?
Yeah, what's changed?
What's changed in the world now?
Mm-hmm.
And that's another added layer.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because I'm thinking on my second character, Merrick, became the god of fire. Essentially,
Mhm.
he became Cert, and it our homebrewed Descent into Avernus.
Yeah.
And he is now a god, but he is not Merrick anymore. He is I forgot his name.
Thalkildor,
Oh, Kildor. Okay, yeah.
god of fire, warden of the flame, lawful neutral, fire, war, and zeal, suggested names, and the symbol for him is the cross swords. One is
swords,
black
yep.
and one is white.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so he became, and it's going to be interesting to see like how it's my character, but he's been fundamentally changed by that God spark, and is now embodying what that spark is. You guys, the new players are going to run into. I haven't decided if he's going to be a cleric or a paladin.
Yeah.
Of him, and it's gonna be kind of one of those questioning moments for you guys of, is he an ally or is he not? Or and not if not.
And that's kind of what I did with Kyle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. To where we were running through when Kyle was fighting Lord
Walden
Wind.
Yeah.
And we were just running from that because they were like DBZ fighting through buildings and stuff, and we were just trying to get out of the blast zone essentially. So this guy was more worried about taking out his target than collateral damage, which is a topic to have about superhero movies and comic books. But yeah, it's like, do you ally with him or do you not? And how much is too much? To where, yes, you're on our side. Yes, you're fighting for the same goal, but what are you willing to overlook in order to get to that goal?
That was a big, like, overarching topic, even in the last campaign. Everybody was relatively trying to take out the overseer. But in their own way.
In their own way, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you had multiple different plans that could theoretically have done it. But
like the Zariel of our campaign, which was Rathkris, she's going Scorched Earth.
Yeah.
Xingshi was collecting as much power as he could to just basically glass cannon him.
Yeah, and then try to bring back
his love interest, or at least avenge her.
Yep.
And then you guys were just trying to basically almost Return of the Jedi ragtag team it in.
Yeah, like, can we not destroy the realms to do this? Can we minimize the collateral damage? I mean, yeah, your plans have a good chance of working, but dang, guys, can we calm down a little bit? So that was kind of a fun way to.
But it's carried over as well, and that's the living world. Like Rama is now a goddess of heroes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
my character's that it makes it feel more interconnected and real. Like we were talking with your old character becoming the god of fire. Like I was mentioning, because we just recently had a guest on called Team Drew's Basement.
Yes.
Who's just the episode before this, I think, at this time.
Yeah, because you did that last week?
Yes.
Yeah.
With scheduling, he should be the episode before.
Oh, cool.
And then we were talking about gods and all that, and I said because we got to talking about science fiction and all that, and I'm like, the Star Trek fan in me, the one twist I put on God Sparks is they're like a trill from Deep Space Nine, as they carry certain fragments of memories from their past hosts, almost like it's almost like a symbiotic spark relationship that elevates you into this divine hood, but
you you don't completely lose yourself, but you don't stay the same either. You get all this other stuff. If Chase were here, he would be making an analogy to My Hero Academia and the main character getting the ability One for All. I believe it's One for All, to where he inherits this ability from his hero, but come to find out that he inherited his ability from a previous hero, who inherited it from a previous hero, and so on and so forth, so that One for All isn't just one ability, it's 8. And whoever has the ability, their ability goes into it, and then it gets passed on to the next user. And then that user puts their ability in, or their ability goes into it, and then gets passed on to the next.
Okay.
Well, but then it came to the main character who doesn't have an ability. So now he gains all of these of the past users, and he can eventually get to the point where he can see them, he can talk to them, and they kind of pass on their knowledge to him. So it's kind of like that.
And that's never really clear, like in our setting, of whether these people can convene or like commune, I guess, with the previous Spark hosts.
I would like to say no.
Yeah.
That it actually is more of a, I don't want to say a forceful overwrite, but more of a melding.
Yeah.
Of past experiences, present experiences, and they just kind of come together to make a new. I mean, if
somebody was to be the DM and they want to do that, I wouldn't have a problem with it. Yeah. For me, the way I'd do it, if I wanted to export, is you're able to go into this mind palace of the Spark and basically pull the memories off a book almost.
Oh yeah, okay. Okay.
Or like a file cabinet in your head, and then you can recall
like, what was that Stephen King book?
Dreamcatcher.
Yeah, where a guy literally had like a mind library where he could meditate, go in, and he could remember anything as long as it was in there. And I always like the scene to where he was learning like a new program at work, and he went into his mind. He's like, okay, I got put this somewhere, and there was no room left, and he had to get rid of something, and it was like, okay, we'll see you later, 1980s song lyrics, and he got rid of that, and he put this new program in its place. So now he would never forget that program, but 1980s song lyrics are now gone.
Getting back to like Oven campaigns, originally, like the world didn't mean to reset for the convenience of the table. Like both good and bad choices happened. We've been talking about.
Yes. Yeah. Good
Whether
and bad,
the players or the game masters. Now, why does this work, or why does it resonate? I feel with players so much because I feel personally, I think. Most characters, I've actually had a couple of players that didn't like those cameos. I think they like the callbacks, or like feeling like they've made a difference without a reset.
Yeah. For the people that don't like it, that it's not a wrong way of thinking. It's just, it's not my way of thinking.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't mind sitting down and talking to someone who doesn't like that. I go, okay, why? Maybe it's part of the escapism. Maybe
the two players that I ran in didn't like it, and I have a feeling I know why, because it was a mutual player that we both know. It was because they chronically made bad choices.
Oh, okay.
And they probably had to deal with the consequences of it, which would be
okay.
Kind of the drawback to this.
Okay, the consequences of like power fantasy or something, maybe?
Well, no, like the consequences of your actions, like starting Ragnarok.
Oh, there is.
Instead of like, after that campaign, just like resetting it, it's like, no.
Yeah, this happened.
This happened.
Okay.
I didn't want it to happen, but it happened.
But yeah, you did
But that's the drawback to this, is if you're playing even in a dungeon master that plays in a living world, and like, let's say you do something rather heinous, or you make, and that happens, like you start the end of the world, or you half destroy like some innocents or anything like that. That lore carries on over.
Yeah.
There's how many horror movies have you watched where they run into this building and it's like, why did this happen? Something very profane happened here.
Yeah, something bad happened here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, even with like Friday the 13th, it's just because her son drowned. And now we've got Jason.
And then, spoiler for a 40, 50-year-old film,
yes,
it was her in the
spoiler
first
for a
film.
Movie older than me.
It was her in the first film.
Yeah, she was a killer.
Until the very end.
Until the very end, yeah. It's just stuff like that. Or the horror movie Candyman.
Yeah.
Like his origin story is terrible. So, just
the Jordan Peele version wasn't too bad if you watched that. They kind of
Ooh, I didn't see that one.
they did a real good job with that. I have
Okay,
to admit.
cool. All
Yeah.
right, cool.
But I'm a big fanboy for Jordan Peele.
Well,
But the drawbacks to that I feel is facing the consequences of your
yeah,
character's actions. Like I told you guys last session or whatever, even though you're the DM. Yeah, you guys like funded the major Church of Civilization in Herfell. That affected that city
Yeah.
heavily because
yeah, gave them what
a massive influx of money.
what 90,000 gold
Yeah,
worth of
so
stuff.
I like as a DM
to
I
bring
have to,
one guy back.
I have to figure out how the Church of Civilization for the God of Civilization affected one of the biggest port cities in
Yeah.
the Republic.
It became like the dominant god of of not only that city but
Yeah.
probably of all the cities that port town is connected to.
And if you guys think that's not realistic, I mean, there's plenty of real world examples, especially now, that prove anything can happen if you throw enough money at it. The one thing when I was kind of like thinking up all this is why does it resonate with like the D&D community and the TTRPG community so much to where this seems to I was it for almost the first decade of playing. I played in Forgotten Realms, and we always did a soft reset.
Forgotten Realms is more of a nailed down setting. Like you can't contradict what's published.
Yeah,
You know?
but I was trying to think why did that bother me so much from this. I think it's because it's like I did such great things in this previous setting. I kicked ass. I got to the end. First campaign, we took care of Tiamat. The second one, we took care of Orcus.
Didn't matter.
In that third campaign, nothing. Or actually, no, sorry, Orcus was actually our third campaign.
Oh.
The second campaign, we actually failed fighting Asarak.
Oh, okay.
What's the repercussions of him winning? And they say in the back of that book, because I was running a published thing, like, this is what happens if he wins.
Oh, okay.
It was cool.
Was that the one where he had the
is
undead
kind of
god
like
baby or
he turned like a giant bone golem at the end, and then he went and actually fought like the Demi-Lynch themselves.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because there's one to where it's Asarak and you're in Chult going through the dungeon or going through the jungle to get to his, and in the bowels of the dungeon there's an scion.
Tomb of Annihilation.
Tomb of Annihilation, yeah.
Yeah, this was the fourth edition, like Tomb of Horrors, where you went across the multiverse, kind of gathering things to go fight him.
Oh, okay, cool. Now, all right, yeah.
A good version of Eva Vecna. But there was like fun side story and side tangent for anyone that's listening. Like at the end of that campaign, and it was very annoying to me as a dungeon master, maybe because I was a little green and I was going to be very angry if they chose it. But one of the lines that Asarak feeds the players, and just because it was a very dark, very true neutral or evil group, as he offers them, is like, if you join me, I will make you kings and queens and make you kings and queens of the nations of Faerun. They sat there for a half hour to 45 minutes considering his offer.
Oh, no. Yeah. Yeah.
And I just sat there and I'm like,
Don't do
and
this.
about two
Don't
or
do
three
this to me.
2 or 3 times, because I'm a new GM and didn't know just to shut up. I'm like, you guys aren't actually considering this.
No,
and then
you
they're
let
like,
go.
they just like go and interact, ADHD, hyper focus, like, yeah.
Yeah, like, and as the DM, you just like a more experienced DM was like, you let that go. Because if they're talking about it in character or like, like you let that go and you write down, you start taking notes because you're going to learn a lot about your players and a lot about your characters in those specific moments.
Mm-hmm. And it was already the end of the campaign at that point. So it's like,
well, for the next one.
But yeah.
It is just,
but imagine imagine a campaign that ends that badly where the group that you're playing with sides with the villain, and then they become evil kings and queens of each of the nations of your world.
Or it's the next campaign is that's the
storyline.
That's the storyline is they're becoming, you know, like the Omen with the Omen trilogy where you have little baby Damien, the Antichrist, growing up to become Sam Neill in the third one, and he's the Antichrist running for president and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that could be a really interesting, yeah. And the players knowing that's my old character. This is the repercussions of what I had. And now there are both positives and negatives to that. I could see people not liking it because they don't, they may view it as a loss of agency.
Yeah.
Toward that used to be my character. That's not what my character would do. Well, it's
Yeah.
not your character anymore. They're not them. They're not you.
And that was one of the things I had to talk with Nick at the custom Avernus campaign we are doing, because he
Yes.
wanted to play Xingshi again.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'm like, well, you're coming back in, and I've already kind of covered this with Xingshi, and I go, he's a major character in this campaign.
Mhm.
And I kind of went through it with him. I'm like, he's not the same person that... Because he goes, can I roleplay Xingshi? And I debated. For a while, like, should I let him roleplay his old character? And I'm like, he's not the character you played anymore. He's you on steroids gone bad. This episode's been brought to you by... So every GM here starts small from the experts when building a campaign, right? A tavern, a village, a few NPCs. But what if your players want something more without feeling overwhelmed? That's where Centurion 3D steps in. Their set brings over 30 build-out options, infinite ways to grow your world, infinite ways to grow your table. Centurion 3D Studios is for game masters who want to stay small but go big for their players. Alright, fellow hermits, Heimdall has just dropped their new dice line, and they come in a unique LED display box that makes them look like they're pulled straight out of a mythical ancient Viking vault. And the dice themselves, they're runic. Full Thark inspired font on the faces, but the wild part is they've got this iridescent finish that literally changes when the light hits them. It's like your dice are actually filled with magic. If you want to show off the dice in a totally new way, grab one of these 5 sets, if not all of them. There's something out of the 9 realms themselves.
It reminds me of one of my favorite games of all time, Fallout New Vegas, when you play the Lonesome Road. At the very end, you run into you're dealing with another courier, Ulysses, and he says the title line of Fallout, that war never changes, but he adds to it like war never changes, but men do through the roads they walk. And so that kind of what reminds me of that is like you saw them at the end of one road, another one started.
Yeah.
And how has that road changed them
And that's what
into what they are?
And that's what a living campaign is.
And
Unless
that's what a living
your
campaign is, yes.
You know, it's the end of your story of that arc with that character.
Yeah.
Of like 1 to 20.
There's another arc going.
Yeah. Unless you really time jump, there's a chance the DM will take liberties with how your character went.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And you're going to have to trust them. If not, you're going to have to accept what they do.
Yeah, exactly. Or you're going to have a conversation and then you have to make a decision.
Yeah. Some advice that I would say is like some consequences work best when they're delayed or indirect as well.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, the player that started Ragnarok, I didn't have people just coming to like groups of assassins kind of run after him. There's no point. The end of the world's happening.
Kaisar's marked you.
But storyline wise, centuries later, that particular character is known as one of the most infamous, hated people because he started.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and to get real world with it, you get pulled over by a cop and you get a speeding ticket, and you don't pay it. Nothing's gonna happen to you. Today, no. Tomorrow, no. Nothing will happen to you for a couple of weeks, months, maybe ever. But you don't pay that ticket, there's a warrant. Because 1, you didn't pay your ticket, 2, you didn't go to court. You have your 2 options.
Mm-hmm.
So if you
over a speeding ticket.
Yeah, over a speeding ticket. And if you never get pulled over again, if you never have any interaction with law enforcement after that, no harm, no foul. And no one cares.
And I will give that character credit. He helped stop the end of the world
as
well.
He did. Yeah, he did.
But that's not what he's known for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and again, okay, you didn't pay your speeding ticket. You forgot. It happens. Or you didn't have the money there. I'll pay it later. And then later becomes 5 years. You're not a bad person. You're not evil. You're not no. But as far as the law is concerned,
on paper,
you have a warrant. they now have to arrest you because you have an active warrant out, and now you're going to jail. You're probably going to get out, because they're going to give you a court date again and they can kick you out because it's not that big of a deal. But as far as the police are concerned, you got a warrant.
Mm-hmm.
And that's right then and there, that's all they can care about. So consequences, yeah.
The one thing I was thinking about when kind of delving into this topic was like the more modern play, the slice of life players. I think they'd adapt to this a little easier, like the living campaign and what their characters have done.
I can see that
rather than the actual, adventuring and dungeon delving, which the old school people adapt to it. I mean, Greyhawk, you went and played with multiple characters throughout different parts of the world.
Yeah.
That was a West Marches campaign.
Yeah.
But I think for like the slice of life players, it'd almost be more beneficial to play in a living campaign than one that softly resets. Because if you're really leaning into the theater kid angle of all this, more than the combat or the adventuring, you want to be able to keep feeding off that old energy and just spin a new kind of road or anything like that.
And not to downplay or talk down about anything, but it's just like, the difference between a farming simulator video game character to like the Call of Duty video game character. The farming simulator ones, they like to build up their farm, to build their sheds and their tractors and their fields and all of that. To where Call of Duty, if you go into the multiplayer lobby, if you go into this map will never change.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how many airstrikes you do. It doesn't matter how many grenades you throw. You leave and you come back, that map will be 100% the same no matter what.
Yeah.
So it's just different play styles, And
I feel
there's pluses and minuses to both of them.
Yeah. And there's no wrong or right way to play it. That's one of the things we've preached about on this podcast. Yeah. There's no right or wrong way to play D&D.
Are you having fun?
Are you having fun?
Yeah.
If you want to play slice of life, if you want to play just a stereotypical game, if you want to play an old school meat grinder,
have at it.
Just
absolutely.
Don't tell one tent or one community or the other that they're doing it wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
That is my stance.
Yeah, I think that's what makes me like that really, kind of grinds my gears is, oh, well, you're playing this wrong. How? Like, have you ever heard of home rules?
Or
have you heard of homebrew?
Or you're, a horrible person if you're including these kind of bad tropes into your game, into your home game that's not affecting anyone else, and your players are still happy. They're still enjoying themselves, and it's your friends. Yeah. It ain't offending any of them.
Yeah, exactly.
It ain't. And for the people of the internet, they don't need to know what's going on in your home game most of the time, unless you're us on this podcast and we just like sharing what's going on.
We're voluntarily putting it out there, and we're not forcing our ideas on somebody. If you don't like what we have to say, okay, fine, cool. Don't include what we say into your game. You don't need to. It's your game. Have fun with it. Build it the way you want.
Would you say like with the living campaigns though, it gives like more agency for the players?
Yes. Vastly yes. It also, some people could argue that it takes it away because they do have to worry about repercussions and long-term things. But in my opinion, it gives more than it takes away.
Yeah.
Your players can see something that they want to fight against, and they can go fight against it and they can destroy it. And now the campaign world has evolved to where that's no longer in it.
Yeah.
They can see the fruits of their labor and they can be kind of proud of, this place used to be like that, or this used to be a thing, and it's not anymore. I made it better.
That's the one thing, like, as a dungeon master, it might affect, like, agency a little bit, because, like, we were talking for about a hour before we started recording of, like, you just making sure you're not, like, overriding lore that's already been
not contradicting things,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing I know Chase is planning on introducing a lot of new stuff, and I don't feel his intentions ever to override anything or make it his world, even though at that point it is his world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, ours.
Yeah. But is there also moments that like can destabilize a setting? Yes. We were just talking about that.
Yeah, causing Ragnarok. You were not planning on the end of the world happening.
Yeah.
But it did. And you did a really good job of pivoting and adjusting to the massive change in environment.
Yeah, because it was just supposed to be probably something that took you guys to like level 10 or 15, and then of course that was the way the Avernus camp. I was aiming for 15.
Yeah.
And then people started bringing up the previous campaign and bringing in tropes. I'm just like, I guess we're going all the way again.
I guess we're doing this.
And we did it.
Yeah.
I was very happy. That's like the only fourth campaign or third or fourth campaign I've been able to get to end game.
Oh, okay. Cool. I'm shooting for 20th with mine. I'm trying to get story beats in place to make it go to 20. But if we don't get there, okay, that's fine.
Yeah. I was kind of forcing levels towards the end just to get us there.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to get us there. It's hard.
Oh,
it's hard once you get to the final levels and people have jumped your story.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that's something even 17 years in for me, I struggle with.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's moments though when like consequences stop being exciting and start being destabilizing. Like we were talking about, you know, the Ragnarok campaign. If it'd been any other DM, I figure, or somebody with less, if that would have been some DM's first campaign, I think that would have just destabilized everything. And
that definitely would have been not necessarily a world ender, but it definitely could be a very high hurdle to overcome, to where it's sometimes a living world is best for experienced GMs because they've got the experience under their belt to be able to pivot and to be able to sit there and say my plan has changed. What's the new plan look like?
Yeah, for like the Batman fans listening, it's like the Dungeon Master so long has all these tools that they're at their, you know, Dungeon Master utility belt.
Yeah.
And you know, you can, if you have a really good one that's been playing since almost the conception of the game for over 50 years, it's almost like Adam West's level of amazingness of like, I'm pulling out the Bat megaphone.
Yeah. The what?
Yeah. And it's this big megaphone he pulls out from underneath his cape, and you're just like, how the heck did the DM...
Where did that come from?
How did the DM pull that off and it seemed good?
Yeah, and it actually work. Yeah. Yeah, and all that is just experience.
Mm-hmm. Or calling back from a previous campaign. Well, this happened this way in this campaign, so I'll make it this way in this campaign. I've done that a lot.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. And if your players question it and just go, well, people's perception of history changes. Time has passed.
Yeah. And then that's happened even in our setting of just like, over the course of centuries, people were viewed this way or anything like that. I know in this last campaign before Cade and all that, and like
deep cut.
The first Overseer campaign that unfortunately we almost did 40 sessions, but we could not get to the end there. We're so close, but it kind of fell apart for personal reasons in my life. But one of the players that were playing at the time ran into a player from the first campaign that they were both part of. Inya.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, is that who I think it is? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's exactly who you think it is.
Yeah. And that made that person's day of like that callback of like seeing this old half elf sitting in a god of nature's realm.
Ooh, okay.
Because they were chosen of Freya.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And just chilling because they're old. And...
yeah. It was like, yeah, I'm done. You know, I'm not. Let's leave the adventuring for the 100-year-olds.
On top of that, being a chosen, because I used the epic paths from 4E Epic Destiny / Paragon paths. I kind of hybrid them.
Yeah.
It says in the actual things like your lifespan is not immortal, but it goes 4 to 5 times more than what it should.
Yeah, there was one to where it's for every 10 years you live, you only age 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you're not immortal, but
a half elf lives about the same as a human, and it had been 500 years. So
yeah, figure it out. Yeah.
Very old. I mean, I do hint at in our campaign guide that no one knows if light elves have, and I think even dark elves have a lifespan really, because they don't know if they're immortal or not. It's one of the few things where I just say this, they don't appear to age. Or I think I actually put in the dark elves just because I think I swiped it straight off Forgotten Realms
Okay.
with a particular line. It's like, no one knows how long a dark elf lives because they've warred for so long. There's not really a lot of old ones.
Yeah, kind of like in Warhammer, you have Space Marines that a lot of times like people like we don't know how long a Space Marine lives because they die in battle. Except for Dante. Sorry, Dante, you are screwed. He knows when he's supposed to die, and it's not for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not for a long
I'm still diving into the lore and getting my Black Templars all...
Yeah.
Getting the white pauldrons on right now.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
Look
diving in.
You're making progress. That's
Yes.
making progress. That's what counts.
No one talks, though, as well from a dungeon master's point of view, how much maintenance goes into a living world. It's even... Because for maybe you a little less, but for like me, I've made the world.
Yeah, I'm only worried about like this little chunk of it. You've got the whole pie. Yeah.
Like I've written the lore, not to sound like Aslan. It's like I was there when the lore was written.
Yeah.
But like it's a lot more maintenance than running a Forgotten Realms thing, and that's part of the challenge for an experienced GM. Because if I'd run that Avernus book as is, I didn't want to play in Forgotten Realms.
Yeah.
I wanted to play in my own setting. That was one of the caveats when they came to me like, hey, we want you to run this book.
Yeah.
Fine, but my condition is it's in my setting.
Yeah.
And then I will run it.
Yeah.
And they're like, deal. Because Nick had already played it, and he's like, we're going to have so much fun.
Okay. All right. And that's kind of what turns me off of published campaigns. And not that I'm turned off from them, but it makes me kind of hesitant. There we go. I'm hesitant because it's a published campaign. Anyone can go online or go to your local friendly gaming store, buy the book, and know everything that's going to happen. There are some players that would do that.
Oh, yeah.
I am not that type of person. But,
it's the same person that reads the monster manual and
memorizes.
Why does the mind player have this AC? It's this AC. It's like,
well, I'm changing it.
Yeah.
I'm altering the monster. Pray I don't alter it any further.
Yes.
Vader. But yeah, so that's what kind of like makes me hesitant is that all the answer, you can just go buy all the answers. Mm-hmm. And that's not
or you can know the lore.
Or yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm not against playing it. Like, so you took St. Avernus and you homebrewed it and you changed some things. Cool. I'm down. Yeah. It's now different.
Which after, I've said it multiple times on this podcast, after doing that, I have a little bit more respect for people that adapt books into movies and kind of make it a little bit their own thing. That is a very controversial hot take.
Very. But
I have a little bit more respect for them because it's like, yes, this is what was written and this is it, but this is my movie.
Yeah, because okay, let's a lot of people will like dog on Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter or insert any other book to movie franchise. You got to understand that this is a 2-hour movie. How long did it take you to read the first Harry Potter book? Probably longer than 2 hours. Mm-hmm. They can't make a 3-day long movie
to I think in the audiobook of Game of Thrones. Mm-hmm. Obviously it takes 10 hours to get through the first season because it's the first season, 10 episodes, 10 episodes, 10
approximately
hours.
An hour each.
Yeah. I think the audiobook is 20 to 30 hours to get through.
There it is.
Because it's a doorstop.
Yeah, you can't have every minute detail in there. It's just not economically feasible for your actors, for your for your editors, for everyone involved. You just can't do it.
And I actually got into a debate with somebody at work about this because they're talking about how they don't like the Lord of the Rings movies because they are not faithful to the books. Yes, but there's upsides to that as well. And they're like, and they finally called me on it. And then I'm like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, Tom Bombadil.
That was the first thing in my head. Tom Bombadil.
I'm like, he is such a side short story in that book, and I get that he was setting. I get that Tolkien was a Gardner writer. He was going off his history, but he was also going by the seat of his pants.
Oh yeah,
seeing what came out.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't an architect. He didn't have it planned out like a Babylon 5 series where seasons 1 to 5 Very masterfully done. They knew how it was going to go.
They knew what was going to happen.
That was what was pitched. That's what that's what the network bought, and
Yep.
they
And that's what they delivered on. Yeah.
And that's what they delivered on, and it was successful. Tom Bombadil, other than a very powerful being, and showing that he does not want the ring himself, and he has a very voluptuous wife.
Yeah.
In context, he's some sort of very powerful, possibly demigod being, and he didn't want to touch the thing.
Yeah.
That's all for me.
Yeah. Like, what?
All I got off of it. Of like, it's a good power scale of like, how bad is this artifact?
Yeah. When someone like him is like, whoa, I ain't going to touch that. But you also have to ask yourself, the character of Tom Bombadil, what did he actually add to the story?
And that's like what I just mentioned. That's the only things I really pull from it.
And it's like anyone who's a fan of Indiana Jones hates this analogy that was made in I just totally forgot the show's name. Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
Because
I brought that up a couple sessions ago.
Yeah, how Indiana Jones,
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Indiana Jones played absolutely nothing in that movie. He had nothing to do with that storyline. Because the Nazis still would have found the Ark, they still would have gone to that island, and they still would have opened it, and they still would have died. Indiana Jones had nothing to do with that.
Well, he did. I'll counter that. He did have something to do.
He showed him where the Ark was.
He had no effect on the storyline.
He had no effect on the outcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, don't get me wrong. I love the movie. It's great. It's fantastic. I love the movie.
I'd have to go back and watch it and see whether, if he had been there or not, whether Marion would have been part of the storyline or not, and whether she would have survived. So technically, I guess he would have saved the life of his future wife.
I think she would have died because the guy that went to go get the medallion would have killed her to get it.
Yeah.
So the only reason that she escaped from him was because
of Indy.
Which
turned out to be his future wife, so that kind of worked out for him.
And yeah, the mother of his child, and actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf. But anyway, that movie is like, you kind of look at it, and when you, from that lens, you go, okay, yeah, he didn't add it. He added to the movie, he added to the story because it was a character to view that story through and to go on an adventure with.
It's a good example for the Dungeons and Dragons players that are listening to our side rant and wondering what this has to do with living. Has to do with,
yeah.
It's also, we'll circle it back around of railroading can work in certain
aspects. Yes. But also,
because that was a railroad story.
Oh, it was totally 100% railroad. 100%. Yeah. But it did its job.
Yeah.
To tell the story, to show these amazing locations, to get the lore out there, to get the brain ticking, and to get all of this kind of stuff going in our brain. And that could also be the exact same thing that you do for a living campaign.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have your Tom Bombadil. Sometimes you have your Indiana Joneses that don't have anything mechanically to do with how the story turns out. But it's a way for the player or the viewer, it's a lens to look through.
Yeah.
And that can help a world seem more alive when you have these characters look at something, they show that they're afraid of something, to give the players the gravitas or the weight of what they're looking at, because, oh, hey, this is a magic ring that makes you turn invisible. Awesome. That's a fantastic ring. Why isn't everyone using it? Oh, it's evil as all get out. It wants to go back to its Dark Lord, and so we know all of that when Frodo gets the ring.
A good example for anyone that's listened to any of our Muspelheim campaign recaps, or just us talking about them, and then I'm not dogging on Chase whatsoever, but I was very sad that Apu was not utilized, like the big.
Yeah.
So in sense, it was a very Raiders of the Ark style thing of him going to Baba Yaga, making that big deal, planning to basically use this H-bomb on the Overseer, and it just.
And then, yeah. Yeah.
Because, but I also think he would have used Apu if Vicky hadn't brought out Xingshi.
That's what I was gonna ask. Like, was Apu needed when Xingshi, or when she Pokeballed Xingshi?
Yeah.
So there's an argument to be made
For
there.
anyone that's wondering what the hell we're talking about this last like minute or two, the most I can say is go back. There's actually a playlist on the YouTube channel of like all the I know it's
campaign.
a very, very thing. Me telling you to go watch like 18 or 19 episodes of our podcast.
Well, it was a 3-year campaign.
Yes,
you know.
But I'm telling you to basically go watch 18 or 19 hours of content but go watch 18 or 19 hours of our content and like each and every video and subscribe and comment on them. Please.
Yeah, and we go through Descent to Avernus. So
yeah, our own version of it.
Or a version of it. Yeah.
Hey, tabletop gamers. Thank you for watching this episode of the Hermit's Homebrew. We come out with new episodes every Wednesday. Remember to like, subscribe, and share with your friends as we continue to level up and grow.